Clever work. Player on his own was Bowden, but he went further afield to Cracker. Beautiful hands to Bowden. He set sail from 55 metres. It's through. The Tigers have got there first on Saturday Night Football here on Fox Footy.
By how relatively quiet he's been. Again, tough for the Tiger forwards. Kaczynski with the decisive punch. Johnson got it through to Cracker. He's been one of the Tigers' best so far, and suddenly they're right in it. High fives galore for the Tiger fans with the Telstra home.
And this one, a lot of close checking. Hugs the boundary with the kick.
Schultz! What about that?
Schultz!
Goshka has to sit and wait for it. Now they're away, the Tigers. A big chance coming up. Kane Johnson offloads, handballs off to Hardigan, who kicks a goal for the Tigers. His first in senior football.
Well, of course it would have been getting my first game. I think the phone call from Danny on the Tuesday of that week was probably the highlight for me, and then running out with the team, and you know, it was just a fantastic achievement for me personally. I never thought I'd get a game this year, and running out with the boys who, like, I barracked for Richmond my whole life, so therefore they were all my heroes, and running out for the first time was amazing.
It was probably the second time we played St Kilda this year. Unfortunately, our captain and vice captain went down with injury, and Wayne Campbell came up to me on a Thursday and asked me if I could lead the boys out this week, and I was pretty excited about that, being a Richmond supporter all my life and getting the chance to lead them out in front of all the yellow and black members, and I did that game and the week after. Fortunately we didn't have a win, but we started off all right, but just couldn't maintain it, so that was a great highlight for me to lead the boys out.
Being in the starting 22 for round one, that was a real goal of mine during the pre-season, to be able to play round one, so that'd have to be my biggest highlight, and running out the ground against Collingwood on the Friday night was just a phenomenal feeling.
Probably the biggest highlight I've had was probably the first game, since it was a very long, hard pre-season, 6 months, and to get a win over Collingwood in front of the home crowd of the MCG was a great win, and sort of something personal happened in that following the week before, a couple of weeks before, sort of tragedy in the family, so it was good to go out and dedicate that game to one of my cousins that passed away, and yeah, probably that game I think was a great highlight of the year.
I suppose definitely the first game. You grow up as a kid wanting to play AFL footy, and when I got told on a Wednesday afternoon that I'd be playing the first game, sort of after the precedent I had, was a bit unexpected, but it was amazing. It really was. And, I suppose that whole lead up for the week was just sensational, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And it's pretty unfortunate you can't play your first game again, but if you could, there'd be a lot of people out there wanting to, I think.
I suppose the first highlight was getting drafted at the end of last year. Actually, I think on that day I was out playing volleyball at Monash University for the school, and someone had read a text message or answered the phone for me, just yelled it out as I was serving or something, so that was a bit of a shock. That was the first one. I suppose the second one was debuting against St Kilda later in the year, because I just didn't expect, I was obviously still at school, so I didn't expect to be playing this year, and that was just a massive thing for me.
In round one, when I played my 150th game, and we had a good win against Collingwood, so it was a very good day.
Yeah, I think I'll just have to hit the gym pretty hard, work on my strength, got to get a bit stronger, put on a few kilos, and then hopefully get as fit as I possibly can and go through pre-season without being injured, and then get into it next year and hopefully play most of the games.
My 150th coming up, which hopefully is in round 7, barring injury, so it's been a bit of a rough road for me. I've had a few injuries early in my career, and I'm just starting to get my body right now, so hopefully if I can get 150th, it'd be a great milestone for me.
Yeah, personal milestone was playing my 50th game. It's been a long, hard road. 4 years it took me to get there, so around 17 this year I finally got it, so that was, I was pretty pleased with that, and hopefully get a few more under my belt.
Look, the fans are fantastic. It's amazing to see how many they get there, even on away games. You still see the regular faces that are always there in the cheer squad. And I remember the game up in Sydney this year, which we won. I played in that, and the fans there were amazing. There would have been at least 2,000 or 3,000 of them in the one area, so there was fair bit of support there, and it's just great to see them.
The first time was against Essendon, and I think there was about 55,000 people, which was just incredible. People always ask you whether or not you can hear the crowd or you can't, and I sometimes think that you can't, but on that day there's nothing more that you realise about when there's that many people yelling and screaming. And it wasn't so much even running out in the ground through the banner, it was when the opening bounce went, because you've got both sets of fans just going crazy, and it's just a phenomenal feeling. You're all tingling and not sure what to think, and you're nervous. And but once the ball goes up, then you sort of calm down a bit, and you can definitely notice them during the game.
Yeah, probably the biggest one that stands out is around 14 or 15 when Big Ricky kicked 10. I was going back to my position as he was kicking, just watching the go. No, just before he marked it, and when he marked it, the crowd just roared, and I sort of got a bit of a fright because it's the loudest I've ever heard him roar, and it was a great feeling to hear him get that loud.
Well, my first experience was in 1996, and I was playing in the reserves at that stage, and it was round 1 and we were playing Essendon, and I ran out at the start of the reserves game, and it was fairly quiet, there weren't many people there. But we came out after half time, and being round 1, the crowd had really filled up, and it was just a sea of people. I remember there were 88,000 there that day, and I couldn't believe a young fella like myself had come from Alice Springs, where we played in front of 88 people, and now I was playing, probably in front of at least 80,000 people in a reserves game at the MCG.
Oh, look, just from talking to the boys and everyone, I think everyone's just genuinely excited about getting Terry on board, and just by speaking to him you can tell that he's really switched on with his footy and the way he goes about it, and I just know he's going to be great for our group because we've got such a lot of young blokes that need a lot of nurturing and coaching. I just know he's going to be really good for the group, and not just for us but probably for the whole footy club and the members and everything, so it's going to be an exciting time for us.
I think it's very exciting. A lot of the boys are really excited about it, and Terry Wallace has come from a very successful background, as we know, and I mean, it brings a new change, it brings new people, it brings new drills, it brings everything. It's got a bit of a buzz around it. I mean, people are signing up for memberships already, and they're keen, and so hopefully the players are keen and ready to put a pretty solid effort in over the pre-season.
Oh, I think Terry's going to have a positive effect on the playing group. Hopefully it's immediate, but he has been given a 5-year tenure, so if it isn't immediate, I'm sure he'll be able to have a strong, long-lasting effect on the team, and hopefully that can bring some success. And whether that is in the first year, the second year, or the third year, I'm not sure right now, but I'm sure he's enthusiastic and passionate about coaching and hopefully getting us up the ladder.
Yeah, look, I reckon I'm obsessed with chocolate. I'd go home and eat about half a cake of chocolate, and look, Mum cracks it a bit, so I have to pay for the chocolate these days. So yeah, I eat a lot of chocolate.
I've got I guess a little bit of a superstition when I'm getting ready to play. I always put my left boot on before my right, and I've got a good luck charm of a piece of black string, which I wore when I won my first premiership as a youngster, and when I first came over here, it was permanently tied onto my hand, and I'd put a piece of tape on it. And when I first came over, one day I had a piece of tape over the top, and one of the trainers came along to cut it off, and actually cut the piece of string as well. And I was dumbfounded, didn't know what to do. So now I always stuff it into the toe of my boot, so it's always still there as well.
Well, early in the season I didn't wear the sort of same underwear that I wore the year before, and we had a good year, so I cranked them on in the second half of the season, and yeah, I think I've been okay since then. So I'll stick with them for a while. They're a little bit worn out, but I'll have to stick with them for a little bit longer, I think.
So I developed a superstition this year, and that was after watching Richmond Player in the year, I decided there's no way I'm going out there clean shaven and looking as young as he did. So I try and grow a bit of a beard, look a bit older, so I don't get pushed around. That became a bit of a problem at school. When the principal said I wasn't allowed to do that, when the photo Herald Sun came in and said, "No, got to be clean shaven," I said, "What am I?" A bit of tension there. I had to play on the weekend, or I had to be in the paper for school. I wasn't really sure what to do, so we resolved that. But yeah, that one's probably the one that's come out this year.
I think we have one of the best theme songs in the competition. I mean, there's some really bad theme songs out there that you hear sometimes. And first that jumps to mind is Freya. It is what everyone reckons. I reckon it's the damn worst song ever. But I reckon ours is fantastic, and it really shows that we still remember of our history and our players that played in our history, and that we want to still play like that, which is good.
I reckon it's the greatest song in the AFL. We got best lyrics, and when you hit earlier in the year when I was standing in the crowd with everyone else and we'd beaten Hawthorn by a point, I think that was just huge thing hearing that, and I can't wait to get the first win on the board and just being able to get in there and belt out that song. Really looking forward to that.
Just stay on board. We haven't had such a good year this year. It's been a bit disappointing, but there's going to be a big change around the club, so hopefully just keep supporting us and stay with us, please, because a big change is about to happen, and just stay supporting us. We need your support. We need you out there.
We have got a fairly strong top 5 or 6 players who hopefully with Terry and his new coaching style, his positive impact that I think he'll have, can hopefully get Richmond back up into the top 8 at least in the next couple of years, and be challenging, for a premiership within 5 years.